feel like we're just on the cusp of like something new, and we get to be a part of it. If we hadn't started getting plugged in, we wouldn't have the life that we have now.
You want me to where do you want me to start from? November?
Can I kind of start it back with how we got plugged in and how we built community in the first place? I remember when we started here at South, and we were coming to church, and we were just coming to 11 o'clock, and then we were sneaking out, right? And then at some point, I remember we were doing church at home, and I thought I was doing a great job. But then Genesis told me that I wasn't that cool, and he wanted to go back to Giggle. So I started volunteering, and then I said, you know what, we need a small group. And so we got plugged into a small group, and from there we started to build community, and we had seen some phenomenal examples of Christ's love, and that's what really got us plugged into church and grounded.
I came to Houston for the sake of work. And in 2017, I quitted my professional job, went to seminary at full-time, and then became a minister in a church. Last October, I lost my job as a minister from this church, so I have nowhere to go.
I want to say it's about a year that we've been here. I think I came first by myself to scope it out. The kids loved it. So I was like waiting for my husband like at the end of service, and they're like, you know, if you're looking for a church family and you would like to join, I'm like sitting there like, just stand up already. And he wouldn't.
I think for us, we were just looking for a church home that was in our neighborhood. We have been going to church for a long time, and we just, it just didn't feel like home. And that's what brought us back here, because day one we walked in and we just instantly like, I don't know, felt something come over us. Like we felt,
this is it.
Yeah, we were pretty much sold on day one.
You know, I found my identity here in Christ, and I believe without Second Baptist South, I would just be a wanderer.
Sunday morning, following the time that I lost my job, somehow, I think it's God's work, I came to the second. Pastor Eric welcomed me that morning with a big smile in his face and wide open arms. And that made me, that moment just made me feel welcomed. This is my home. This is my spiritual family.
Came out of my comfort zone really quick and really easy here. Everybody made it kind of natural for me too.
I truly think that God brought us to Second at the right time. Like, we had a really hard year, and the people that we've met here have literally carried us through it, like every step of the way.
And so speaking of community, was about a year ago, February, Ted went in for a routine checkup, and his blood came back abnormal with high liver enzymes. From February to June, things just started to go badly. Ted was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver, and from June, every passing month at that point, he started to go down really bad, and it was severely progressive that by December,
I was hospitalized at the end of November, early December. I ended up getting on the liver transplant list, and March 3rd I actually received my liver transplant.
We walked in one day not knowing what the next year was going to bring, and it's been a roller coaster of a year, but it hasn't felt like that, or at least different than I think it would have if we weren't here and we didn't have the foundation of friendship and a church family that has carried us and lifted us up through it.
I remember Teddy saying to me one time, he said, I know people are praying for me. I can feel it. And I can't tell you how many texts and phone calls and even emails from other campuses, from like prayer ministries, prayergrams that were coming in the mail. Literally, I know that things changed because our church was praying for us.
Yeah.
But if you've never had to be on this side where the church gets a chance to be the hands and feet of Christ for you, right? We always want to serve. Nobody really wants to be served. But unless you've experienced this side of it and felt the kind of love from this vantage point, I don't really know if I can fully convey. I don't even know if I can fully convey it, but it's that kind of richness that, I mean, I didn't want to experience it this way, but I'm grateful that we did.
Second was a shelter, was a healing, was a hospital for me, was a recovery from my journey as a painful experiences of losing my job.
I just think the fact that people genuinely care and they want you, you know, like if you're hungry, they'll feed you, meaning like they're always there.
When I came to Second, everybody I have talked with, I know they are serving, from the pastor to the normal members.
I mean, we used to joke about it. If you don't know Jesus coming into this church, it's because you choose not to. There's so many ministries, there's so many different opportunities just to serve.
As a Christian, I will love to serve, just serve. And then we feel so naturally become part of family.
You know, if you don't have a church home, it's really kind of rough. That's your basis, if you will. It's very important that you make the connection between your other brothers and sisters in the Lord.
When we were sneaking out, you know, we thought that we were getting the most out of church, right? We came, we were at 11 o'clock, we worshiped, we got some word, we went home, and, you know, we lived our lives. But it's interesting, if you don't actually do life with the people that you see every Sunday, you're really missing out.
Second Baptist Church means a home, a spiritual home to me, but it's more than that. It means a shelter or a refuge to me.
But looking back at it now, you know, a month after post-transplant, it's very clear to me that God was in complete control. And it's humbling to think about all the love and support that we received as a family while I was in need and while my family was in need.
At that morning, when I have nowhere to go, I came to the Second, and I was welcomed by the church. And I feel just like King David in his Psalms, when he says salvation belongs to God himself. So when I came to the Second, I feel I found God. This is a shelter, this is a refuge, this is salvation from God. I found my joy and my salvation through the Second Baptist Church.